In halls where time moved slowly, thrones sat waiting, silent and still, beneath dusty, sleeping arches. Stone walls whispered soft echoes of voices long vanished, leaving only quiet behind velvet curtains and cracked windows. The thrones were massive, carved from ancient wood, shaped by hands now gone and forgotten. Children tiptoed past the doorways, staring at the silence that lived where once voices had ruled. Old kings had sat there once, their voices heavy, their eyes tired, their thoughts full of rule. Now only the throne remained, too quiet to speak, too grand to forget in peaceful memory. A woman swept the halls each morning, dusting gently around the arms of the silent seat. She whispered, "You remember, don't you?" As if the throne held memories deeper than any book. The candlelight flickered gently, stretching shadows across cold stone floors where no one dared to run. Little boys once chased marbles there, until the throne's hush made them stop and walk softly. The throne never creaked, though it was old, stayed still, like stone that never forgot anything. Women brought folded cloths, placing them near the base, gifts for kings who no longer returned. One girl named Mira always lingered longer, watching the velvet cushion with quiet curiosity. She asked her grandmother, "Why does it feel like someone's still sitting there, even when empty?" Her grandmother smiled gently, saying, "Some chairs remember too well. They listen more than they speak." Rain tapped on the windows, echoing like whispers from the past in the long, echoing chambers. The throne sat patiently, as if still waiting for orders, or footsteps, or even slow stories. Once, a man sat beside it, strumming a lute, letting songs fill the throne's quiet ears. Even his music softened, like it didn't want to wake the chair from a gentle dream. Women told stories in nearby rooms of queens who wept there and kings who sat silently. Men lit torches every night, their flames reflecting in the gold trimming wrapped around the throne's base. The throne never glowed loudly, just shimmered faintly, like memories floating in a sleepy evening mist. Children peeked in wide-eyed, wondering how something so big could stay so quiet, so still forever. They imagined giants had built it, throning kings who ruled over forests, rivers, and sleepy clouds. Some believed the chair chose who could sit only hearts that understood patience and deep, silent thought. Once, a prince stood before it, unsure if he should sit or keep standing forever instead. He turned away, whispering, "Not yet," as if waiting for the throne to invite him gently. No one laughed in the hall. It wasn't forbidden, just impossible inside. So much ancient, sleepy air. The carpets were soft, but footsteps still echoed like slow clocks ticking behind layers of peaceful time. Even spiders spun slowly near the throne, building delicate threads that danced in beams of quiet sunlight. The throne watched everything but judged nothing, content to listen and remember beneath stone, wood, and wind. One boy dropped his toy near the base, froze, then tiptoed back slowly with wide, quiet eyes. He told his sister, "It looked at me, though the throne hadn't moved a splinter since morning." Their mother smiled, dusting beside the chair. "Maybe it just dreams sometimes, like old things do." At night, moonlight filled the hall, and the throne's arms glowed softly like sleepy, folded wings. No one sat after dark, not from fear, but because the throne liked nighttime to itself. Old scribes once sat beside it, copying letters by candlelight, whispering words from scrolls of silence. A woman named Sarah often brought her sewing, her thread moving slowly near the throne's stillness. She said the quiet made her stitches better, more careful, as if the chair watched her. Her daughter asked, "Do you think it remembers names?" Sarah nodded, and stories, especially stories, told softly. Once, a little girl left a flower on its step, and the petals never withered. They stayed bright for days, glowing in that cool space like a memory the chair wanted kept. The throne never replied, but its silence said more than 1,000 speeches spoken under rush and time. An old guard passed it daily, tapping his staff twice, as if greeting an old sleeping friend. Some nights he talked aloud, telling the throne how the townsfolk were doing, sharing gossip gently. He said, "Nobody listens like you do," then laughed quietly, feeling oddly heard beneath stone rafters. The walls never answered, but the echo softened, as if holding onto every sleepy whispered word. One winter morning, snow pressed against the windows, and the whole hall seemed wrapped in frozen silence. Yet the throne looked unchanged, like it had seen colder winters and quieter mornings before people came. Fires burned low, people came and went, but the throne stayed, still and full of invisible stories. When visitors arrived, they always stopped before the throne, hushed by its ancient, sleepy quietness. They whispered to each other, "Do you feel it?" And many nodded without knowing what they meant. The chair made people remember things lost, lullabies, old songs, voices they'd forgotten, or dreams once imagined. Children dreamed of sitting there, ruling over maps with crayons, wearing crowns made from twigs and wool. But even in dreams, the throne made them pause, breathe slow, and speak with soft, silver voices. It didn't care for crowns, only kindness, and always listened best to those who never rushed. One mother said, "It's not made for power. It was carved to carry silence like treasure." The throne never blinked, never shifted, never broke it, only rested like a mountain with wooden arms. Some said it was lonely, others said it was full either way. It never asked for company. Time passed outside, seasons changed, rulers changed, stories changed, but inside, The throne stayed quietly exactly the same. The ancient throne stood beneath golden arches, wrapped in shadows, holding dreams too heavy for restless hearts. Time drifted like mist through the silent hall, where no ruler dared sit for more than moments. Its carvings told quiet tales of kings who ruled kindly and others whose greed made the throne colder. Children tiptoed past the doorway, peeking inside, whispering stories of the throne that never truly welcomed anyone again. Villagers believed it waited, not for crowns, but for gentle hearts that asked nothing but listened quietly. Once, a queen tried sitting there, her cloak heavy with jewels, but the throne shivered beneath her. Birds outside fell silent as she spoke. The room turned dim, the windows fogged with ancient warning. She left in silence, never returning, her voice forgotten, but the throne's silence louder than her power. Years passed softly, and others tried princes, generals, scholars, all turned away by something they couldn't see or name. The throne wasn't cruel, only careful, guarding something fragile that loud voices could never truly understand. A young boy once crept in barefoot, holding a candle, and dreams shaped like stories his mother told. He didn't sit, he sat beside it, humming a lullaby his grandmother once sang to the wind. The air warmed slightly, the throne shimmered faintly, like it remembered something from long, long ago. He asked it nothing, gave no speech, only stayed quietly, hoping it didn't feel too alone anymore. The servants watched, confused but smiling, unsure why the empty throne glowed more with him sitting nearby. Every night he returned, no throne taken, no order given, just stillness, warmth, and soft, sleepy songs. The hall, once cold, felt softer, like a room waking from a dream too deep for memory. The throne, though empty, seemed lighter, as though it carried fewer burdens when someone asked nothing in return. The boy's name was not recorded, but stories call him the listener, even after many centuries. No royal ring touched his hand, yet the people felt more peace than under any crowned ruler. Elders spoke gently, saying, "The throne belongs to those who never tried to take it for themselves." It grew known as the silent throne, never empty of meaning, only empty of restless ambition. One queen placed a rose on the armrest, bowed, and left a gesture that lasted longer than her rule. In paintings, the throne is always there but empty, glowing, watching the world with old, patient, sleepy eyes. Maps marked its hall with stars, not for treasure, but for those brave enough to leave quietly. A boy named Ari wandered in once, chasing fireflies, unaware the throne watched him like a curious cloud. He danced near it, tripped, and laughed. The throne stayed still, but something in the hall gently smiled. The stars above that night shined brighter, and the guards swore the air smelled like blooming jasmine. Ari returned every summer, talking softly to the throne about birds, dreams, clouds, and why leaves fall. The throne listened, as it always did, storing his words like lullabies tucked beneath ancient polished wood. Once, a king demanded to be seated there, thundering through the halls with trumpets and golden shoes. The doors refused to open, the candles refused to light, and the wind howled like a warning. He yelled, pushed, commanded all in vain. The throne stayed cold, and even the stone floor grew weary. He left angry, his crown crooked, his echo swallowed by silence that didn't care for anger or fear. No one followed him, and the throne never even moved a hair from its dustless cushions. Others came quietly, like poets, lost travelers, or children clutching sleepy blankets and half-finished dreams. The throne responded with warmth not to crowns, but to lullabies, stories, and gentle questions whispered at night. A girl once asked, "Do you miss someone?" And the throne glowed softly, not needing to answer. She stayed with it all night, drawing with chalk on the floor, leaving a sleepy sun and stars. The next morning, villagers noticed the hall smelled like cinnamon, though no one had lit any fires. Legends say the throne can hear the hearts of those who enter, not just their footsteps. Some came carrying gifts, but the throne only warmed for those who arrived with empty hands and patience. A soldier laid his sword at the base, saying nothing he left with lighter footsteps than he came. Once, a young girl named Talia fell asleep beside the throne, her hair tangled in dreaming flowers. When she woke, the hall was filled with light, as if the sun itself had rested nearby. She grew up visiting often, never needing to rule, just to sit and feel time slow down. The throne taught her peace before power, rest before rule, quiet before command, and wonder before questions. Her presence changed. People markets grew calmer, rivers seemed gentler, and even animals followed her through the village. Still, she never sat on the throne. It was enough to know it wasn't alone anymore. The throne's legend didn't come from rulers who sat, but from hearts who dared to listen quietly. Children grew up hearing the tale. You don't sit to rule, you sit to understand. And so they came, not to take but to offer laughter, dreams, stories, and questions with no answers. The throne, though never touched, grew warmer with each visitor who came without needing anything in return. It became a place of stories, not speeches, space of memory, not orders shouted from gold. Travelers brought lullabies from distant lands, and the throne held them all like glowing wishes in winter. A young boy whispered, "What do you dream of?" And the entire hall grew so still it sighed. Some say the throne finally did speak, not in words, but in wind, warm light, and peaceful dreams. No one captured that moment, not in books or scrolls, but the air changed for everyone who stepped inside. And though the throne stays empty, its emptiness is full with stories, peace, kindness, and hearts that asked softly. So, when someone wonders why it stayed empty so long, tell them it waited for quiet, not kings. In quiet old halls, shadows stretched long, and dusty thrones whispered stories only silence and starlight could truly understand deeply. Children tiptoed past the throne room, wondering if sleepy kings still rested there, wrapped in time and the evening hush. Some said the kings never truly left, their thoughts still lingering in the air like soft perfume or fading dreams. The velvet cushions held echoes, shaped by royal robes, as if waiting gently for a king's return in moonlight. The throne's arms gleamed softly, worn smooth by fingers that once held scepters and decisions, now just peaceful stillness. Old servants whispered tales by candlelight, saying the king's thoughts floated gently, like clouds above silver, peaceful, sleepy skies. Windows overlooked sleepy fields, and the empty throne faced them still, as if watching old kingdoms grow and fade. Children asked their grandmothers, did the king vanish, or simply fall asleep too deeply to return from dreams? The answers changed each time, but all agreed no one dared sit on the throne after twilight fell. Even the cat paused, curling beneath the throne, listening for footsteps that never returned but somehow always felt near. Guards polished the empty throne with soft cloth, never speaking, eyes lowered, as if fearing to disturb invisible royalty. Paintings of kings watched from dusty walls, their eyes soft and tired, like they too missed sleepy whispered courtly talks. One little boy, Tomiel, asked gently, what if the king still watches from a dream behind those silent curtains? His sister said, then maybe he smiles when we walk softly, not breaking the hush he left behind. The great hall's air smelled of cedar and stories, both older than even the oldest man in the village. Candles flickered near the throne, shadows dancing as if bowing again to a presence they could no longer see. Some claimed the king's last wish was to rest, not leave, and the throne simply honored his quiet dream. The stars above blinked slowly, sending silver beams into the room, touching the throne like a crown of light. Every winter, a woman came to leave fresh flowers near the throne, whispering, "Sleep well, gentle dreamer." No one knew her name, but everyone knew her steps. Always slow, always soft, always facing the throne. Even when winds howled outside, inside the hall, the silence never cracked it, remained still as a cradle's lullaby. The king's books sat untouched, bookmarks still waiting, where sleepy eyes once paused to ponder great peaceful thoughts. Children peeked into the library, wondering if the king's dreams drifted off the pages and into the dust. Tomiel once said, maybe the king dreams of us, and we are all part of his quiet kingdom. The villagers liked that thought, and they started walking slower near the hall, out of kindness and sleepy respect. The throne, carved with vines and stars, glowed faintly at night, though no fire had burned there in years. Some nights, a breeze would curl through the window, and the curtains moved like royal robes, passing unseen. A visiting merchant tried sitting there once, but stood quickly. He said the seat felt too full of remembering. Another child left a toy crown beside the throne, smiling, for when he wakes, he'll have something light. Even time itself seemed slower near that chair, as if waiting too, not wanting to rush the king. The throne sat heavy and gentle, wrapped in velvet and memory, a quiet place where time took careful steps. No bells rang there anymore, yet still the air felt thick with announcements never spoken but always known. Mothers hushed their babies near the hall, whispering, "Let the king rest," though he'd been gone generations now. Some say the throne was carved from an old tree that once dreamed itself into royalty by moonlight. Others claimed it was built by hands who never spoke, only listened to stars and the forest's hush. When snow fell, the throne looked like part of a dream too still, too soft, too gently forgotten. The little boy, now grown, returned and sat near Binod on it, never on it tanned, hummed lullabies. He brought his children, who asked, "Where is the king?" And he answered, "Wherever someone listens kindly, he sits." His daughter whispered, "I feel like someone is watching, but not in a scary way, in a sleepy way." The father smiled. That's how the king stayed. Not loud, not gone, just softly here, like evening light. Each generation added their own little rituals, poems, a note, a soft scarf laid on the armrest. One woman placed a book of dreams there, open to a page that said, "We remember, even in sleep." Once, a bird nested near the throne's edge, singing each dawn before flying out over the sleepy hills. Even the dust sparkled in slants of sun, as if dancing quietly to songs only the king remembered. No one cleaned the dust, it felt part of the story, part of the throne's soft, sleepy clothing. A clock once ticked there, long ago, but it stopped the night the king closed his eyes forever, and no one ever fixed it. They let silence replace the ticks with something deeper and far more gentle. Old stones beneath the throne were worn smooth, not by boots, but by memory pressing gently over the years. Sometimes, when all was still, someone would say, "Did you hear that?" Though no sound had passed. It was just the throne, maybe sighing like it had dreamed again, and found peace inside that dream. By lantern light, artists sketched it, trying to capture the throne's hush, but never quite captured the sleepy feeling. Some wrote songs, but their lullabies only echoed the hush, never replacing the throne's real gentle mystery. A traveler once left a note saying, "Let him rest. He watched long enough." Now it's our turn. Children started leaving wishes at the throne's feet, like the king might still collect them in his sleep. None of them expected answers, just peace, and that's what they felt, standing near the still velvet seat. The throne never demanded attention, never changed, never broke it, only waited, soft as moss, still as a breath. Eventually, the villagers began calling the throne the sleep chair, though no one remembered where the name began. And every year, on the quietest night, they lit a single candle near it, then left it alone. Its flame flickered once, then glowed steady, as if the king nodded softly in dreams, approving the quiet. And so the sleepy throne sat forever, wrapped in time, dream, and a peace only dreamers understand gently.